Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Vader City Council. It is 6:10 p.m. on December 17th, 2025. Roll call.
Nicole Hansen, present. John Hurt.
Here.
Michael Livingston.
Here.
Mike Parsons.
Here. Here. We are all here. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Swearing in newly elected council member Nicole Hansen. Ms. Hansen did win the regular election.
Nice.
Keep you right there. Repeat after me. I, Nicole Hansen,
I, Nicole Hansen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America.
of the United States of America.
And I will faithfully and impartially
And I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties
perform and discharge the duties
of the City Council of the City of Vader, Washington,
of the City Council of the City of Vader of Washington,
according to law and the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to law to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. There we go.
All right. 4 more years. 4 more years.
When he sent me an email and said that my appointment was still 2029, I said, well, that's a really long time. Why is it that long?
Yeah.
And then I realized what
You do the math, and you're like 4 years is December 31st, right before 2030.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, mayor's report. Last weekend was the holiday jubilation event. It was a great success. There was all kinds of people out there for the parade. People came to the bazaar. I mean, it was a lot of people. It was a lot of fun. So thank you to all the volunteers that made that happen. I think they're planning for next year already.
Awesome.
Yes. Accountability audit by Washington State. Last week we had the exit conference, and we passed the audit with flying colors. That's our 8th in a row, starting back in 2013. So good job to the city, and great job especially to Kristen for getting all that information that was buried in so many places to the auditors and pleasing them the entire time. So thank you. Very good job to everybody. McMurphy Park grant. I just got a hold of the grant manager this week, and she said we're still waiting for the state to review that culture resources report before we could start getting going on the park. Water system receivership. We submitted the plan and the request to the county on December 4th, immediately following our last council meeting. We also sent it off to the Department of Health. We're still waiting on a response, but we got it all in well in advance of the deadline, which was the goal.
How long do they have?
Well, the county was supposed to send it to the Department of Health promptly. That is what is in the agreement. And so I suppose promptly is up to interpretation, but it's been 2 weeks. So.
You already sent it to them.
But we did, yeah. We sent it to the Department of Health just to let them make sure they had the heads up about it. The date of completion for the transfer is set in the agreement for 6 months from the date that we submitted it to them, which is the beginning of June. And so they really need to get back to us soon so we could get going on the next steps. There's a lot of asset transfers, ownerships, and things like that that need to happen. There are a few small loans that are in payback status still. And so we need to transfer ownership and responsibility into our name. So there's a lot of things that need to happen. And so they do need to get back to us pretty soon. Otherwise, they may need to request for an extension.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we will see about that. But things are in the works. Council reports. Any members of the council have any reports?
Yeah, this is Mike Ferguson. I believe you guys have a printout, picture of blueprint in front of you, possibly.
Correct.
We do.
So, Friends of Little Falls has been working really hard. Maybe I should talk about that a little bit, but we started a nonprofit with the intention of building an amphitheater at McMurphy Park, solely through the will of the people. With zero tax contributions, we just allow people to make donations by coming and enjoying the park with us. So we've made it to the phase now where we've hired an architect and he's drafted this just basically a concept drawing for us. I spoke with him today and he's going to push it into engineering. I just wanted to share it with you guys. We haven't shared it with the public yet and wanted to get your input on it.
I think it looks fabulous.
Did you notice the overhead view of it unintentionally looks like Darth Vader's helmet?
Yeah.
I didn't make that connection, but I appreciate the reference.
So there's some options that we do have with the, if you look at the side view of it, if we were looking to the north, the beams angle out and this creates a wall where we'll be able to hide the power supply and things like that, and all the conduiting to potential infrastructure developments, I would call them. We want to incorporate some things about the history of Vader as well, in possibly some CNC die cut panels that fit into those spaces. So as things progress, we'll have in 2 weeks the engineered drawings, and we want to follow all the processes that would be necessary to provide the city with a donated building that is all up to spec and acceptable by the community. Because we don't want to shove anything down anyone's throat, but we want to give this to you guys, and it's going to happen. So.
This is incredible.
How far are you from the grades and the total cost, Mike?
So once I actually have the engineering, then we can get down to the hard line estimate on total cost. But seeing as how I'm volunteering my services as general contractor, planning, I'll be doing all the planning and project development. I have volunteers, like professional volunteers that are going to do the forming of the concrete. I have connections with Lowe's. They've made a commitment. If you notice the brackets at the bottom where it meets the concrete and where the beams tie together, they're called blade flanges. Each one of those connection points is about $800. I've gotten a commitment that Simpson will donate those, just to be a part of a small town project. We have not asked any of my concrete suppliers for a donation yet because we don't know how many yards of concrete it's going to take until the plans are finalized. I hope that answered your
Hey,
question.
Mike, this is going down where the stage is normally, like the truck bed stage, right?
Where we've been hosting the concerts that's the location that we intend to put it. Obviously it's public property, and so it, like I said, we can't just shove it down someone's throat and plant it there. So we have to abide by the processes, and I've kind of been a little quiet in talking about this in council meetings because I do have a group. And so when I speak on behalf of my group, I don't want to overstep my group because it's not, I'm not a dictator here.
But that area is what you guys are thinking about, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's, and the intent is just to have the stage and leave the lawns alone around it. There'll be some grading that'll have to take place to accommodate on the north side of the building where we have the handicap, or the south side where we have the handicap ramp that comes up the back side. When we do the excavations for the footings, we'll have some soil available, and then we'll contour the ground there to accommodate that ramp.
Cool.
Thank you. This is very helpful and very informative for us. I think, Mayor, at some point it would be helpful to understand what the process is for items like this. I feel like Mr. Ferguson is speaking as a member of the public at this moment. It is being shared as a council report, but it's also a member of the public, right? He can't vote on his own project, for example. So he's giving us information, which is super helpful and we're super excited about. But it would also be good for us to know, especially those of us that are new, what the process is for something like this. What do they need to submit to us? Do we go down and do a site visit? How,
Okay.
what are I don't know. So it doesn't need to be now, but at some point along the way, it would be helpful to feel a little more informed. And thank you, Mr. Ferguson.
Absolutely, Nicole. I really appreciate you bringing that up because that's the kind of scrutiny that we need. And again, like I will be recusing myself of any kind of decisions as a council member. It was really my motive to not see the city go after tax funds for something such as an amphitheater, because that to me is a pet project. And, taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for it, but it will be a building that belongs to the city, and the city will have it available to utilize to raise their own funds to use for events and all of that. Me and my group, Friends of Little Falls, when we do gift it, it will come with a contingency that we reserve the right to use it, 5 or 6 times a year to host our own events so that we can fundraise to host more events and keep entertaining the community.
So we probably also need to have a conversation about maintenance and those types of things, because I think a lot of us are excited about this project and just want to make sure that we, think about all the different parts. But
In the area that they're talking about putting it in,
isn't done
those
yet, right?
those bathrooms that we're going to be putting in down there, is that adjacent to it or
It's a different part of the park.
different part?
Yep.
Okay.
So then the only other thing I want to say is, Mr. Ferguson, we really appreciate you donating your professional time to a project like this, and thank you for your group for bringing it and presenting it to us. Very exciting.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Any other council reports?
Come on, how are we supposed to top that one?
I know, right?
I know. Bang the gavel, let's get out of here. No. All right, agenda approval. I have no suggestions for changes tonight.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda for tonight's meeting on December 17th, 2025.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the agenda as written. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Hurt. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes approval.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I wasn't there, I can't necessarily approve the minutes. Do I vote anyway, or do I?
Yes, I mean, you're still approving the minutes that they're written.
I mean, I watched half the video so far.
Yeah, so you watched some of the video, you read the minutes,
Perfect.
you know that they exist and that they
Sounds
seem complete.
Perfect.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for December 3rd, 2025.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the minutes from December 3rd. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Hurt. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval.
I make a motion that we approve the amended end of November 2025 for vouchers for $36,715.39. The end of December 2025 at $38,216.11.
A motion from Mr. Parsons to approve the vouchers as stated. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Mr. Hurt. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Special reports. Darren Hutton, building permit report.
So nothing much has changed since the last meeting. We're working on the same projects. Indoor Heights is real close to getting its final approval. What happened after the first of the year.
Which one is that?
8th Street.
On the hill, eighth and I.
Oh, going up. The one that, oh,
Probably starting building there.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions for Mr. Hutton? Okay. Kristen Miller, code enforcement report.
First letters, second letters, added in there. Was sent out, and then also in cost and sent to them. I've left out these parcel numbers. I just have the number. If you guys want more information, you can come to the office and go over any pictures or any copies of letters, etc. I think this is going to be the best way to give you guys a monthly report. If you want to see it in a different format or in additional information, please let me know that.
Many letters have gone out, and how many parcels are you?
About 11.
looks like 11.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions regarding code enforcement?
I have a question. Do you have a code enforcement officer? Is it?
It's still city staff, yeah. Okay. Moving on to public comment. Is there any public comment? This will be regarding agenda items only. There'll be a public comment at the end of the meeting as well for non-agenda items. Okay, hearing no requests for agenda-related public comments. Moving on to item number 1, city business. Council to consider ordinance 10/2025 comprehensive plan periodic update. This is it. This is the final approval for the comprehensive plan. So we've been talking about it for a long time. Planning Committee's been talking about it for a year and a half plus. There are there's a minor change beyond what was the printout. The online one is up to date, but we noticed that in the facilities map, the sewer system had a couple of legs that were missing, and so those have been updated. But all the other content in the comprehensive plan has remained the same. So this is due at the end of the year. This is the last meeting of the year, so it's not really the time for changes. And our city planner, James Eager, is online if we had any questions for him.
I'll make a motion that we approve the ordinance 10/2025, the comprehensive plan periodic update.
Motion by Mr. Hurt to approve ordinance 10/2025, the comprehensive plan update. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Parsons. More discussion? I'll just say thank you to James and his team for putting this together. I was reading through the comments that different state organizations have provided, and there was a lot of positive feedback from them in their replies regarding the content of this. So I think we all the agencies think we got a really good product out of it, and so do I. So thank you, James.
Yeah, just really quickly, thank you all. City staff, city officials have been very helpful. Jen is here online, who provided us thousands of comments that were incredibly helpful. So yeah, glad to see this over the line.
Okay. Any other comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of Ordinance 10/2025, the Comprehensive Plan Periodic Update, say aye.
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 Get everyone online. Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, are you still online? I see your name there. Oh, someone's joining. It's another Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, we were just voting on the Ordinance 10/2025, the Comprehensive Plan Periodic Update.
I'll approve.
How say you? You approve. Okay. That was both people online. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 2, council to discuss the 2026 final budget. Obviously, a lot of the important parts of it have been already voted on and items put in. So again, this is due at the end of the year. If there were minor changes, those could be done. But for the most part, it's a good budget. It encompasses all the goals I think that we had.
Motion that we approve the budget as written.
We have a motion by Mr. Ferguson to approve the 2026 budget.
Okay.
Seconded Ms. Hanson. Guess we kind of skipped ahead. That's all right. That's okay.
I always do that.
It's great. Any other discussion on the budget? We just want to slide this one off to the side and be done with it.
I don't like that we had to raise everyone's the property tax levy, but I think it was prudent and important for us to do so.
Okay. Any other discussion on the budget? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of Ordinance 11/2025, the 2026 final budget, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, council to discuss Ordinance 09/2025, amending city code to allow golf carts and wheeled all-terrain vehicles. Last meeting we didn't really talk about this. We kind of tabled it for a little while. What's going on? I don't know if anyone has gotten time to do some research and reading through. I was going through it today and looking at myself with the draft code. Obviously, it's just a suggestion. It's very comprehensive and it's very limiting the way it's written. Any and all vehicles need to be properly licensed, insured, only 16-year-olds and higher. They need to be all the wheeled all-terrain vehicles. All the occupants must sit side by side. It must have a steering wheel, so you can't have quads and things of that nature. Basically, at that point they're just little cars. Seat belts, the whole thing. Headlights. Same thing with golf carts.
Seat belts on a golf cart?
Not on the. Yes, actually, that's what it says. Yeah, it says.
On the main road, yes.
Yeah, all
That's more than
occupants.
my 51 truck has.
All occupants shall be seated during the operation and use of seat belts shall be mandatory while golf cart is operated in the golf cart zone. So, I would say there's no.
I want a chance to take a highlighter this thing, before we approve it. That's
Yeah,
my
and I can,
opinion.
and I actually did just that, and I can send that ordinance out to everybody where I've highlighted kind of those those more highly contested items. So
Yeah, like probably a black highlighter, right?
I used pink. Yes, Ms. Radcliffe.
Does that include gas, side by sides too, or is it just electric?
Gas and electric, yeah. Yeah, they'd have to adhere to all the rules of the road, the speed limits. It's not a free for all. It actually says that in there, that muffler and a spark arrestor and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, Charlie.
Yeah, they're cars.
Yeah, they get expensive.
Okay. Any other discussion on this tonight? No? Okay, well, we'll definitely take a look at that. I'll send out my highlighted notes to everybody, and then we can discuss it again later. Number 5, council to consider resolution 19/2025, updating the City of Vader master fee schedule. So this master fee schedule has the updated sewer rate in it. What else? Most of the fees remained unchanged, right? We added in a section for the water system, but it's preliminary. It'll probably need to get changed later, but we put it in as a placeholder. Nonprofit price. So before we had one price for renting the park, we've added in a nonprofit price that's reduced. Yep, updated sewer rates. But that's it. We didn't change the other fees.
Did the updated sewer rates, 'cause I know that we were talking about 6 and we went to 3. Did the 3 take care of what we needed to take care of?
Yes, yeah, with some tweaks in the sewer system, with the 3%. I think it's buried in here somewhere. We have our 2 months reserve, and we're okay.
And the staff is able to get more hours.
We're able to keep the hours. Yes. So so basically on the fees, by and large, the fee schedule, it's just things you've already approved.
I make the motion that we approve resolution 19/2025, updating the City of Vader's master fee schedule.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve resolution 19/2025, updating the master fee schedule. Do we have a second?
Oh, second.
Second, Mr. Hurd. More discussion, questions, clarifications? Okay, all those in favor of resolution 19/2025, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, council to consider ordinance 12/2025, updating the city personnel policy. Kristen, would you like to talk about this one real quick? Again, nothing crazy.
For you guys. We added a call-in procedure. We didn't have one, so like if our group plan operator has to come in, the power went out to adjust anything, or if there's a break that someone gets called in. We've added a 4-hour minimum at the regular rate of pay, unless it's overtime hours, then it would be state required for overtime. We're asking that instead of getting the day after
after Thanksgiving as a holiday. We get Columbus Day instead. Our office is already closed on Friday, so what's happening is we get paid for a holiday and our staff have to take off a different day to account for it. So if we just trade that day for Columbus Day, it doesn't cost the city any extra money and we don't have to try and figure out additional days off to account for that holiday. We also added in a policy about donating sick time. So if one of our employees is sick and then we have to work for 4 weeks, so we've exhausted all of their sick time, then other staff members can donate those hours. Okay. I apologize. There was one other thing. Currently, our sewer plant operator is required to work on certain holidays, and there is a section in there that says instead of paying for the time and a half for holidays, you just have him get 1 day off a month and still work his normal schedule.
I think my first question is, it sounds like the Friday after Thanksgiving effectively changes you guys from having a floating holiday, which you get to pick, the other day off is just the floating holiday, to being set as Columbus Day. And I'm just curious, did the staff unanimously agree? Sarah, I just want to make sure that we are feeling like this is everybody's cool with that and that we'll set it.
I believe the staff is on board.
They're nodding back there. So I mean, I don't have any issues with any of these. And I think this donating sick time should be a universal policy. That's a very cool thing for you guys to consider.
I know some of our other, local cities here in the county, they do that as well. So
cool.
it's not a new idea. A lot of times, if a police officer gets hurt or something like that, city employees can team up and help them out.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll applaud you on that one. For if somebody gets sick, you can donate your time, your sick time or your vacation time, sir. I've been in that position where I've given almost 2 weeks of vacation so a guy could stay home with his dying wife. So that's a biggie right there for me.
Very cool. So I make a motion that we approve ordinance 12/2025, updating city personnel policy.
A motion by Ms. Hanson to approve the update to the employee policy. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Parsons. Any discussion? Okay.
I think that it goes, well, it doesn't go without saying, because in my life, it goes without saying, and my wife says I'm supposed to say it out loud. So, but all the staff, I think you guys are all amazing. I've been here for 10 years now, 8, 9 years, and you've been here even longer, and we've had some doozies. And everything is just, to me, everything is just going so smooth. Knock on wood, everything, and then these audits, that I just commend you guys. Thank you for loving well, I don't know if you love your jobs, but thank you for acting like you love your jobs. Because as far as I'm concerned, I love having you guys, knowing that you guys are here doing what you do.
Thank you very much for saying that on their behalf, but they can say that too.
City wouldn't run without you guys.
Even there.
Well, there are exceptions, okay?
Definitely Derek. Well, great. Thank you for that. Any other discussion on the employee policy? Okay, all those in favor of approving ordinance 12/2025, updating the city personnel policy, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 7, council to consider.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
Back, since I'm got so fast.
it's your meeting. Yeah.
Back on with you guys, I've been thinking with the audits that we've just passed, and this is a warning for the citizens. I guess that's who I need to tell this to. For the audits that we've passed, We're not doing anything stupid with our money. We're trying to survive. And to keep staff, it just clicked on me today when I was looking through stuff, is there isn't anybody that owns a business that has good staff, that isn't going to raise their prices to keep their staff. Everybody across the board has to raise prices. And so to you, I apologize for fighting so much on these, I don't even want to call them taxes because that's the revenues that we get. And next year, everybody be ready, because I think it's time to bump these things up so that we don't have to worry about our staff. Because that's one of the main expenses, and it's the main thing that makes it work. It's like not having oil in your engine. You got to get the oil in there. And so anyway, if that makes sense or not, but
I concur.
okay.
Our,
Nick?
our city can't solely run on volunteers, you know? I mean, even though we're all poised to where, you know, we can situationally, you know, volunteer our time as elected officials and help the city run, we can't expect all the gears to work for the city. You know, Kristen, Darren, John, like, you know, all these things, like, we have to take care of them. They do a great job for our citizens, and as well as our mayor. I don't know how that works. Like, all the other cities pay their council members to show up to meetings. I would never ask for $1. Our mayor would never accept $1. But, you know, we definitely need to take care of our workers.
Thank you for that. All right. Well, there's a motion. I think, yeah. Council to consider ordinance 13/2025, the 2025 budget amendment. So it's a pretty normal thing for municipalities to do. You know, throughout the year, things will change, and it will necessitate a budget amendment where we adjust some estimates. And so if you look at that, the cover sheet for that ordinance, it lists all of the different things that happened that necessitate a budget amendment. And for the most part, it's grant money that came in that we didn't estimate for. Obviously, we got this grant money and we spent it, but we did not have it in our expenditure estimates at the beginning of the year. And so we need to account for that. There was also, I believe the other, some other big things in the sewer budget were related to payments on old loans, where we had budgeted in 2024 to make those payments. We actually made the payment in 2025. And so it looks like in our estimates that we overpaid for this year, but then again, we underpaid for last year. So that's why we need to make that adjustment. What are the other big ones in there? Some little ones were like fuel, because we have a second vehicle now that we picked up at the end of the year. And so we had higher fuel charges than we anticipated. The city insurance, we had our estimate in there was low, and it actually came in higher, and so we had to pay more for insurance this year than we had estimated. There was another, the sewer reserve fund transfer for the water system receivership. You know, that was not in the beginning of the year budget, so we need to account for that. And then lastly, comprehensive plan and climate grant. We had $200,000 worth of grant money come in for the comprehensive plan and climate action plan, and some of that was expensed last year and some of it this year, and we didn't have that full estimate in this year's budget. And so this does not affect the budget that we already approved for 2026. This is just adjusting our estimates for 2025 for money that we already spent.
I have to admit that when I went through this the first time, I was like, why are we passing the budget and then doing an amendment right afterwards? Why don't we just fix it? But, yes. So I make a motion that we approve ordinance 13/2025, the 2025 budget amendment number 1.
Motion by Mr. Parsons to approve ordinance 13/2025, the 2025 budget amendment. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Hanson. Any other discussion about this? Question? Clarification on what some of this stuff is? I think I just did that. Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of ordinance 13/2025, the budget amendment, say aye.
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 Heard that. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, public comment on non-agenda issues. Limit of 3 minutes.
Just take the vote.
Ms. Radcliffe.
My name is Cindy Radcliffe. This is my husband, Michael Radcliffe. You probably don't know him. He tries to stay behind the scenes. 1027th Street. I am here to find out where our preliminary approval is. And now it's been a year since we started this whole nightmare. And as of 5 weeks ago, we had complied with everything that anybody anywhere could possibly want. We turned in the last little piece from our engineer. There is no reason why, at least from what I've been told, of why we don't have at least a preliminary approval, which by the way does not mean that we're done. We still have a lot of work to do on the subdivision with putting in line sewer lines and ditches and whatever. But there's no reason why we don't have a preliminary approval. And from what I was told, this is basically a preliminary approval that is, it should have been simple. It should have been, yes, you can go ahead, you've got your preliminary approval, you can turn your, those 2 acres into 6 individual parcels, get it recorded with the state or the county, and then move forward. But now, after 5 weeks, we're still sitting here and we don't have our preliminary approval. And I don't see a reason why we don't have it. I know this is the 3rd time that it seems like we have stalled and we're not moving forward because something's sitting on somebody's desk or somebody didn't look at it or whatever. But we need to move forward. The adjacent subdivision has their preliminary approval. They got it months ago. They're now selling at least 2 of those regular mobile homes. One of them, I think they're moving in on Friday. So hopefully they have their approval because the people are buying it. They're signing tomorrow morning. And they've already got, I've talked to the guy. He's already got plans to put in the 3rd regular trailer. He's already got plans. He's got a prospective buyer on the 2nd lot with the trailer on it. So he's moving forward. And so I'm not really sure why we haven't gotten ours, but we're under a deadline. Alan Grant, he's been around here for 100 years. I question him completely. He says he's under a deadline and he doesn't get the approval and can record those parcels. He's got to redo some work and resubmit it to the city. I'm not sure. I didn't really understand everything he said, but I believe him. You know, he is a trustworthy guy. Same with the engineer. The water guy from the county said, hey, where are you at? You got this wand from us, but the clock is ticking. And you now burnt 2 months of your 12 months on this wand. He can't give us any more water accessibility because you only have 1 parcel. You know, once you have 6 parcels, you can have actually 7 wands. But right now you're limited to the 1 and the clock is ticking. So I don't know who needs to sign something, if we need to get the Pope to bless it. I don't know what needs to be done, but somebody sign something and let us move forward. If it's you, Joe, I know you live. So, you know, just so you know. I'd like to know what's going on, why we're not moving.
I think you sent an email yesterday, and I think Darren got back to you and let you know that it was that the engineer and the planner were still looking at it.
Yeah, but that was 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks. 5 weeks. It's 1 piece of paper that we had to submit, and it shouldn't take 5 weeks for them to look at it. And by the way, when we submitted that 1 piece of paper, they said, oh, a week or 2. Should be a week or 2. At the last city council meeting, I talked to Darren over there, and he said, oh yeah, it should be. That was 2 weeks ago. So it's always next week, probably next week. I'm thinking it's gonna be next week or it's a week or two. It's been 5 weeks. It was one piece of paper. So again, deadlines. And again, this is not the first time that we have installed somebody has done something somewhere. That's what I need to know where it's at and if we're gonna make the deadline or not, because Alan and I guess just go ahead and do whatever he needs to do to redo the survey that he did a year ago.
All right. I don't have anything I can say. I know that they followed up yesterday on it. So
what are we waiting for? He said to look at it.
do you have any comments?
I know
Tonight?
that they have a meeting tomorrow.
A meeting about this. Okay.
So they're working on it.
I mean, 5 weeks, does that not seem excessive to other people?
So will they, after their meeting tomorrow, are they supposed to get back to you or are they going to snail mail us something?
I'm going to interrupt for a second. I feel like the last time we got into a conversation after a public comment, we all kind of got our hands slapped that, sorry for lack of a better word, that public comments are meant for the public to come and to talk to us about the things that are important to them. We need to acknowledge them and record them and potentially set a time to follow up, but that we are as a group, our policy is not to get into a conversation, and I'm not trying to interfere with the process. I would feel as frustrated with you as you are, but I want to understand because I'm a new council member. You saw that I just got sworn in. I want to understand the process because I don't want to get my hands slapped after this meeting, after we all have this conversation. So I want to make sure you get an answer, understand what your answer is going to get. And I want to make sure we all understand the process. I feel like that's fair for everybody involved.
You do realize that it's under this agenda, it says elected people can make comments. So. That would be a comment.
Right. Well, that's what we have right now.
Part of the processing.
So right now, it's what we know is that there's the planner and the engineer, we're reviewing it and they have a meeting tomorrow. And you'll probably hear back probably tomorrow after the meeting with the results of that.
Oh.
Will we be notified?
I would say as a builder, Cowlitz County took about 8 weeks to finalize plans for the last build we did.
Yeah, we try to be faster than that, but sounds like they're actively working on it. So we will follow up with you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wanted to.
I don't know what time the meeting is. Any other public comment tonight? Okay, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Oh wait, elected official comments. There's more. Any members of the public have any comments? Or excuse me, elected officials have comments?
Yes.
Coffin.
A couple things. Our packets come out Tuesday afternoon, and I commend you on that. Is there any way that we can get that on Monday afternoon? Because the 5 of us sit up here, we're running our own businesses. It takes time, especially when we have budgets like this that really need to go over with, a fine tooth comb. Is there a possibility that we can get that on Monday?
We can discuss that. What makes it hard is a lot of the stuff we're waiting on or it takes us time to put together. I will tell all of you, you're welcome at any time to come into City Hall and ask to see the drafts we're working on, or I can email you what we have so far. You can check in that way more if you want. But sometimes, even last night, I was sending stuff out separately just because that's the way that.
And then the second thing I want to bring up is we talked last time about the complaint forms, and you said that you were going to talk to the attorney about it. Did we go any further with that?
I have not spoken with the attorney, but I am requesting that people come in to sign the forms.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll need to change the form after speaking with her, but that was a good suggestion. I think that's something that as long as we can enforce it.
And the last thing is something I want the council to consider. Joe puts in a lot of hours volunteering to help run this city. And I like to kind of make a motion, and I like your guys' discussion about giving him a little bit back. And the little bit back is for us to, as a city, just to pay his sewer bill every month, just because of all the hours that he puts in. I just think that the city really needs to give back to him a little bit. And I just like what you guys think about it.
Oh, do you, I know that we've talked in the past about, didn't we talk about a salary for the mayor? It was a small something or other.
Perhaps.
And you were like, yeah, don't do that.
Yes.
I remember that. And so is this the same type of thing?
Well, I don't get to vote in it on it.
Well,
I think
we don't get to vote anytime.
the idea and the sentiment is perfect, right? But it has to apply to any elected mayor. And so the intent, if we make it a thing, it has to move on through generations.
So I would suggest at least waiting a year. That way we can reduce the sewer budget by $1,000 if I'm not paying $1,000 a year in sewer bills.
It was just a thought, you guys, because of all the hours that he puts in, plus all his work hours and family and scouts and stuff. It's just a thank you for what he does.
I appreciate that sentiment.
I think it's important to note too, when you guys are complimenting us with staff, we couldn't do our job without Joe's leadership and without his assistance and his research. And so, we're very grateful.
Thank you. It's the night to tell everyone thank you. It seems.
It's Christmas. It's a Christmas miracle.
A crappy gift. But so I feel that it's a gift from the city for you for what you're doing. And it's just a small little token. But like I said, I wanted to bring it up to the other council members, get their feelings before a motion is made and then we put it into process. Or
I think we need to think about it, especially considering Mike Ferguson's comments. I think we just need to think about what an appropriate process is for a city, even though obviously we appreciate it.
I'm fine with that. I just wanted to bring it up because it's been on my heart for all the.
Can we put it on the agenda for
the first of the year?
We can do that.
I think so. Because I don't think it's a bad idea if we're gonna, pay people like a average salary to do a legitimate job for our city, that we don't waive their fees for, their utility services.
So that's going on in January. So pretty good. You're done. So I had a thought, and I know that we talked about this, but my brain's not as young as it used to be. The sewer bills change with the water, and we had talked about a solid fee or something like that. Do you guys remember this? You remember that?
Solid fee.
Like a base rate. Because for me, if you water your lawn during the summer, your sewer bill goes up. During the summer, I don't use the sewer half as much because most of the time it's outside. So
We do winter averages for the summer. So there's 4 months for the summer, which is 2 days next week, and we go off of your winter months averages for that reason. Because right now in Lewis County, doing the reads, there is no way to tell if it's somebody flushing the toilet a lot or if it's somebody who is watering their lawn or filling up a pool. So we do winter hours for the summer.
You're in septic.
I am, but I got a water bill the other day because my grandchildren love playing with the hose and turning these automatic things on, and I didn't realize. So my water bill was $600. And I thought, you know what, if I had sewer, this would really hurt.
In the wintertime, you would have seen an increase, yes.
And I just think, you know, I don't know if we can go by bathroom or I don't know. It just, the water doesn't, to me, the water coming out of your, going through the meter doesn't calculate to the sewer. It just doesn't. I mean,
Because not necessarily all the water that you're using is going down the sewer.
yeah,
That's what you're trying to get at.
so,
I think that's kind of fair and appropriate. A lot of people have expressed that sentiment, and maybe we need to look into, I appreciate that we use a winter average. I think that probably covers what we're talking about here. Alternatively, though, for someone like me, we already have a set minimum that people like me pay. I pay the set minimum even though I don't use the sewer that much, and to me, it's extremely high. So I think if we adjusted it to a new set, it would just go up for people like me who are relatively small households. And so I think we probably need to think it's fair and we need to investigate it. I also don't know that the set rate for everybody would work because I already feel like for small households, the minimum is high.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to think about it a lot. But I think it's fair to explore it as we are taking back the water. Yeah. It's interesting.
anyway,
So you're not going to let your grandkids learn how to turn on faucets or hoses anymore.
kids, I tell you.
Is that purple?
It was.
You.
Yes. Yeah.
We got a pool and tire, and every summer we fill it up.
Mhm.
And the sewer.
Yeah.
All right, more elected official comments?
I just want to say thank you guys for coming in here and letting us know that things aren't perfect. I know we can't always solve it here in this meeting, but I think it's important for the council to know when people are.
Don't be nice to her. It doesn't work.
All right. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned at 7:08 PM. Thank you, everybody.